Welcome. Welcome returning and new subscribers. That's nice. Um so we're actually going to continue the message from yesterday. I did I did realize where we got cut off at, and it was when we was expressing what's in the environment. So I took a picture of it. Um in the environment you had, this is again picking up from yesterday's live. I am Goddess High Priestess Empress Abala Pantera. So if you're new, welcome, baby. But once again, we're going to continue on from the video that has the same title, but it will be listed as, I'm changing it to 9A as this will be 9B. So we left off referring to what's in the environment. And the cards that came out were the Page of Cups, the Death card, and the Page of Wands. So that message was really expressing the way it actually ended, because I did pull out also what's in the hopes and fears position and what's the outcome. So what this message is saying, as far as like what's in the environment, there's something new that's coming into your life, the beginning stages of the development of a closing out of a cycle. However, in your hopes and fears position, you got the World card, which is the completion of a cycle. As far as the Oracle cards that came out in that reading, you had the woman holding a coin and the woman holding a heart. So there could be certain things that you have to resolve as far as your foundation, your roots, the way you were nurtured, in order for you to move past whatever could be stopping you from seeing that you have received reward after a challenge. Okay. Then in the outcome, you have the Queen of Pentacles, which would be the woman holding a coin, with the Six of Cups. So this is speaking of, there's a soulmate that's coming in to your life where you may have already connected with your soul tribe, and you're going to notice that you have, because things in your life are going to get better. So your finances are going to increase, your health is going to get better. So right now I feel like the message is you're being you're being asked to focus on the wisdom of your body. What is your body telling you as far as who it is that you're connecting with and who it is that you disconnect from, and what tends to shift, and to stay on track with the shift that allows you to evolve. Because there are certain cases or instances in life where you feel like, because of the relation that you have to certain people, that you have to stay there. And then this is when things, in terms of, your mind, body, and your spirit, start to take this journey that's going into a low vibration. You don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to stay in something because of, some are staying in situations because of the time they've put in. The more time you put into that, the more time or the essence of life you're taking away from you, because you're not trusting your truth and what your intuition along with your instincts have been guiding you to do. Now, we're going to pull another spread, all right? Just to see where the energy is for you all at this time, especially if you're resonating with this message. Once again, don't forget to like the video, which is you washing your hands upon entering here, okay? And saging yourself, my love. So, yeah, let's see. Thank you, Mama Universe and Papa Universe. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of Mama Universe and Papa Universe. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of my angels, spirit guides, ancestors that guide and protect me. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of my angels, spirit guides. I just said that. I got to say it again. Angels, spirit guides, ancestors, ascended masters, warriors that guide and protect me. Okay. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of the gods and goddesses that flow through me as me, for you and I collected to use our mind's eye to see. I connect my heart and soul to my heart and soul, always in connection to the Most High. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. This is giving real Nani of the Maroon vibes right now. It's real. But let's see what's going on, baby. Okay. Let's see what's going on. All right. Here we go. Let's look at the energy first. Speaking out loud. Crow's message. We're going to look into that. Definitely have a message from a crow this rising. This was, yeah, like 6:50. So much so the energy around that time during the rising was so high that I noticed my phone was tripping. Listen, electronics around me lately have been going off. Like, yeah, 120. Ashe. Okay. What's the energy here for the collective? What's the energy for the collective? What's the energy for the collective? Victory. Yes. So this being a part 2 to yesterday's message, something definitely shifted between that moment and right now that you're watching this. Okay. This could even be, let's say if you're watching both for the first time in one day, something's going to shift that leads you into victory. It can be uncomfortable. A lot of you are shifting in a way that's making you uncomfortable or your body's uncomfortable. I feel like you're going through a reascension from a point of indecision. Okay. Caring connections. Yep. Indecisive about a caring connection. But there's victory here. Show me this. Show me this. Cornucopia. And it came out sideways. 7-Eleven. Ask for what it is that you truly want. Ask for what it is that you truly want. Some of you are going to have to make the adjustment when it comes to exactly that, and realize, let's say if this has to do with the person that you want in your life, you have to really see them for all that they are and the way they view you as the gem. Okay. I'm talking to you right now, whoever you are the gem, but you're settling for people or situations that don't see your value. And this is where you now have to make a decision that you've been indecisive about, because this is also the same energy that is causing you to be at this position of a delay or stagnancy, because you're around energy that cannot celebrate with you, because they won't celebrate you. So anything or anyone that doesn't celebrate you can't celebrate with you. All right. Rest and rejuvenate. Okay. Let's get one more card here. Let's see. Community. Yeah. There's a challenge here when it comes to a certain community that you connect with. Carrying connections, community and carrying connections. 3 C's. This is some real Capricorn vibes here. Real Saturn energy here. Okay. 11/7/14. November 7th, 2014 could be significant. 28 could be significant. Or 2/8. 2/8 would be connected to the 6 of Swords. So this is trusting where you were guided. So there could have been a moment where you didn't trust where you were guided to go. 2014, it led to a certain pattern or cycle in your life from doing so. Then you have the Daughter Spirit. Okay. So this actually allows you to walk through certain doors or adjacent possibilities, or again, doors that you would normally not see that there are doors there. So this is like going through a specific situation here where it cleanses your spirit, but it was challenging. Show me this. It has me focusing on the one in the red dress with the heart. Okay, something tugging here on your heartstrings. Some of you may be a Capricorn rising. We have God coming through here. You're going through a rebirth, okay? Ooh, yes. So this is definitely having to do with one thing looking, okay, going through a specific cycle that you didn't realize that this was part of the shamanic journey, or this cycle or this caring connection, this love partnership is what got you to open up within yourself when it came to what it is that you know and the way you're going to apply it to life, no longer hiding yourself from who you truly are. Okay. So we have here integration of spirit and soul with the body, collecting all fragments of the soul. And then we have today, Thursday. Yeah. We have Proverbs 24:5. A wise man is strong and is better than a strong man. So there's something here about not looking the part, but within your DNA, you have all of the codings or the books as to what that part would what someone would look like fulfilling the part, but you within you have everything and then some to fulfill that role. But it's almost as if having to be restricted or rejected only for you to wake up. We have divine masculine here, going from a king to an emperor. So this is about you now taking action, standing in your power, knowing who you are, Aries energy. Let's see what the tarot cards are saying. What's at the bottom here? Allow your intuitive guidance. So now you're allowing your intuitive guidance to assist you with structuring your vision of your mind's eye beyond material constructs. For some of you, this detox is definitely allowing you to do so. So there's moments that you realize that you, let's say, one moment you decide, okay, I'm not going to eat meat, and then you get up on this path where now you are eating meat. What's happening is, generally speaking, when you're eating meat, it's allowing you to, it makes you heavy, so you descend quicker. When you start to eat lighter foods or foods of light or food of life, you're going to ascend. So that's a way of looking at that too. Meat is also fish for people who just eat fish. Same shit. Not same shit, but you know what I mean. Listen, you just have to listen to your body, okay? You deserve this. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? This evolution of your journey on the planet Earth. Okay? Okay. Get out of neutral. Welcome, Alana. 1 month. You got 1 month here. So March 23rd, that's going right into the spring season. It was just 1323. So March 23rd is highly significant, y'all. Okay. Let me see. It has something to do with the wicked being in authority. Oh shit. So this is a prime example of someone who doesn't look to see someone else's karma. And because you're that type of being, you have to see people go through their karma from the very beginning that this part starts. Why? Because you have been given the role of judgment. The essence of who you are has been given the role of judgment. Bueno. Let's get a few more cards from here. Speaking of Mercury, yeah, you're a messenger of the gods. Okay. Hold on. You have activated a point within you. So when I say been given the role of judgment, right? This is your connection to the infinite creator. Therefore, you're not making judgment based off of an emotion. So this is much deeper than a feeling, which is why you felt a lot along this transition or along this journey. You could be someone who's highly sensitive. This is why we were saying at the beginning, trusting the wisdom of your body. And with the North Node in Taurus is really getting you to see that on a much deeper level with the South Node in Scorpio. So it's like as you're rising in, some of you could be a Taurus rising. As you're rising and you're knowing of what's going on based on what your body is saying, what's happening is you're also feeling the toxicity that's leaving your body. You're feeling the toxicity that's leaving your body, and it's being shown to you in your external or material world by something or someone that has recently shown back up. With Vesta and Aries is definitely going to bring up things that are deeply rooted. For some of you, these are people that you've been sexually interacting with. You may not even no longer speak to them, but there's certain things, again, that some of you may have swept under the rug, which you could no longer sweep under the rug any longer. Show me the energy of the collective here. You said Judgment. But this is the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius has to do with the age of judgment. When you know who you are and you operate based on who you know who you are, it's a different story. You're no longer telling yourself any false tales. Yeah. Shadow self comes out with the grays, which speaks of being timid, misunderstood, and shy, but it came out in reverse. So you're no longer being, allowing anything to make you feel misunderstood because you have done the shadow work. You have integrated the shadow. You're no longer denying the shadow. So now anything projected towards you, it bounces right off. Some people have literally projected shame onto you. We have number 636 coming through here. Let me see what this is talking about right quick. This is having to make a very wise decision on what's been hidden. So this is given like Chiron energy. Let me see. Wow, I left the golden ratio here, but it's in reverse. Now you're able to recognize the beauty and the patterns. Something about allowing a cycle to run its course, not rushing something. So it's like wanting a new part of life, but this is like, be careful with what it is that you ask for because there's a process to it all. You have asked and you now are receiving. Show me this energy here. Wood, beam. See? Speaking of that beam work, once again, it came right up. Hold on. $133. Divine guidance surrounds you now. Okay. Using a pencil to gain clarity is highly significant. Gain clarity about these challenges. The metal of Saturn challenges to gain wisdom is lead. Some of you are crossing the bridge here based on the way you're putting your numbers together, your patterns together. What's this? Aquarius. There goes that. Okay. So the definition of a beam is a long, sturdy piece of squared timber or metal spanning an opening or part of a building, usually to support the roof or floor above. So you as the beam, you're realizing what destroys your ability to support the roof or the floor above. Basically, someone who is designed to help others grow, but go where you're celebrated. But in order to see who celebrates, you had to see who was against you. Now you know you have Aquarius energy out here. You're a freedom loving being. You have freedom because you're loving. It's like people have no choice but to get it together when they're around you. You didn't know this about yourself fully, then, and this is more than likely why you have certain caring connections that are not so caring. We have first house. So to some of these people, you gave the impression that you know it all, but in fact, you actually do when it comes to the way they move that they may not be aware of. Then we got Scorpio energy here. Intense, masterful, and thoughtful, magnetically charming. So you're someone who can really attract all different types of vibrations. But the more you notice about yourself, the more you can prevent yourself from being, put into a draining position or situation. Because now you're allowing your intuitive guidance, knowing this, that you have this intense, magnetically charming, thoughtful way of being. You're going to constantly here, Mars, you're going to constantly, attract certain people that can be quite combative. Welcome, Ninja. Let me see here. But you're always protected. You're always surrounded by protection, which is why you have been able to go down certain paths or corridors that it's not for the faint of heart at all. It's not. This is why your first card out is victory. And you gain this victory through anything that has been blocking your success or your cornucopia of blessings, 1111. Those have a lot to do with beams too, pillars. What else here? People are starting to see you for who you actually are. They've always known who you were, but the energy changes when you know who you are. When you know what they know, but they may not consciously know, subconsciously they do know, because everything is connected. They're a part of you that you didn't know, so it shows out outside of you through these people. But once you know, if they're supposed to be with you on the journey, you'll notice where there could be a point where you can come together. But if not, obviously they was just there for that season for you to develop. Anything else from this deck? We have Virgo, so that could be significant. Okay. Or we have fifth house. you're able to do something at this point where to others it may seem like a lot of work, but this is something you enjoy. And it may seem like you're being lazy with life, but if if they knew the type of work that it took to do what you're doing or able to do now, you wouldn't be viewed as so lazy. So this could be part of the projection where you may feel like you're not doing enough, but you're doing more than enough. So yeah, let's go into the Celtic spread, y'all. Let's see what's really popping, because we got the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, integration, life lessons, emanation. Video number 7 in this series will give you more details about the Tree of Life within you. So if you're here for a reason. You're going to see why in video number 7 why you're here. Okay. Angel of Strength pulling through here. It sounds so mad it cut off. Yeah, I had to actually go. That's one video. I don't know. It was something about that video last night that I had to go back into and see where it left off. And it cut off right when we was talking about what's in your environment. So telling you, y'all seen how the connection's been on this channel, but we're not going to speak that into existence. But yeah, we got the world card here, speaking of online. So let's see, what's the current situation for the collective? What's the current situation here? Yeah, the energy is quite intense. Like I woke up this rising with 7 different phases of dreams. And usually you get about 3 or 5 that you remember, maybe even 1, but 7. By the time I got to number 5, I was awakened by a crow. Speaking of, let's look at this. Let's see what's up. And it called out twice. This shit sounded like a movie. Let me see. Crow call 2 times. 650. 4141. Hey. 1968. Hold up. Let me see. Who's that? Pluto in Virgo. 1968 is Pluto in Virgo generation. This is giving off a vibe where if you have parents or you were born during that time, it gives off a frequency of where you want to just be chill through your transformations, but there's so much going on in the world where it's like you can be chill, but what does your Mars say? You know? They've been calling out 4 times on your way to work. Okay. Okay. Your neighbor has it all over their house. 3 for you. Okay. Yeah, they speak, they sing. Whenever they call out, they're singing. And what I do is because they do it in segments, so I'll see how many times consecutively one segment is. I write that number down, then the next number until they stop. You know, literally 144 right now. Okay. It says here, you are second coming of divine wife of Jesus Christ. Meaning the fish of Christ, the seed of Christ. Okay. Something you also being saved from the rapture that's happening within the body. About 1 out of 100 make it to heaven, one lamb worth dying for. Heaven is in the cerebrum, in your brain. Okay. As a matter of fact, let's go over that again. Let's go over that again. I have it written down so I don't lose track of the way I expressed it in 7. So, every month when the moon is in your sun sign, the germ or seed is planted in the solar plexus, which is right above the sacral plexus. Now, this seed more so speaking of the oil, okay, comes from the claustrum, which is located in your cerebrum. All right. So the germ is the oil, also known as Christ born in Bethlehem. And Bethlehem, okay, Beth speaks of houses. When you look in the Bible, anytime you see Beth, it speaks of a house of something. So Bethlehem is the solar plexus where the oil or the seed is born, or the oil, Christos, is born. The oil must return from where it came from. So when the oil returns from where it came from, this is an example of what it means when it comes to giving a tithing. So now you also see why, or the importance of the church is your body, is the temple is your body, okay? As the oil ascends, the vibration of the oil increases. So let's speak about this oil. So before going down the spinal cord, it is differentiated between the pineal gland, which is electric, and the pituitary gland, which is magnetic. Now, the example of the pineal and the pituitary is Joseph and Mary. Okay. The oil is then brought down by the Pingala and the Ida nerves, also known as the Kundalini and the Kunda buffer. It arrives in the sacral, then waits for the germinating of the seed once a month, 12 times a year. And again, once a month, this happens when the moon is in your sun sign. When it rises, it eventually reaches the medulla oblongata and the pons and the midbrain, and it crosses the vagus nerve, also known as the pneumogastric nerve. Now, that vagus nerve, that pneumogastric nerve, that's literally the tree of life. Okay. So these nerves come from the brain area, from the pineal and pituitary glands, respectively, feeding the lungs and the stomach. So this is something that the ancients knew, which is why you read in these texts of certain characters being 900 and this years old, or 1,000 this, or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? So we just spoke about the oil going down the spinal cord. Now, when it rises, it bursts through the heart chakra, the throat chakra, and the oil from the seed will arrive in the higher vibration, because at the bottom, if it stays stuck in the root chakra, okay, it carries a very low vibration. Majority of the world kills off this oil, and the more of this oil you kill off that flows from your brain naturally every month, this is why life expectancy is the way it is today. Okay. What helps the seed to rise? We have breathing, and make sure when you're doing your breathing, I know sometimes when we are doing breathing here, you see me blowing air out of the mouth. Now we're going to be working more towards the nose doing all of the breathing. Okay. So what helps the seed rise is breathing, meditating, great food, and a peaceful behavior, aka a peaceful environment. So every month, make it your duty then. You know what I'm saying? Every month, 2.5 days, because that's how long it'll be, the moon in your sun sign. Make it a habit of yours to make sure you're doing your breathing, you're meditating, you're feeding yourself with great food and peaceful behavior, and also abstaining from sex those 2 days, 2.5 days. Okay. This will allow to cross the vagus nerve at the top of the spinal column, the 33rd vertebrae, which is also where you get the crucifixion, okay, of Christ at 33. That's what that means. Christ being crucified at 33 is speaking of the oil rising back up to where it came from. He does something. And when the oil arrives at the very top, it arrives in the area called the optic thalamus, which is an egg-shaped organ in the middle of your head. When the oil crosses the pneumogastric nerves, this is called the crucifixion. And in this position, it's not saying that it's being destroyed. It is actually being magnified 1,000-fold. At this point, the oil touches the optic thalamus and for 2.5 days remains in a condition called dead or going through a transformation. But this is also speaking of when it reaches the pineal gland after 2.5 days and illuminates the optic thalamus and the pineal gland, which is now you becoming the light of the world. Okay. And this is so potent around this time period, going from the winter into the spring season. Because what do you have? Easter. That's what they call it, Easter, right? Which speaks about this whole process. But this just doesn't happen once a year. This happens to you every month. But you have to know that, right? So when the oil arrives in this region, the optic thalamus, this is where the enlightenment occurs. So you have 4 brains when it comes to your human body. You have the cerebrum, which is the God brain, the cerebellum, which is the man brain, the medulla oblongata, which is in charge of breathing and blood circulation, and the solar plexus, which connects you to your animal instincts. So everything that we speak about when it comes to ascension, it's all having to do with, things that are going on within. So now imagine this. The main thing here for the collective is your peaceful behavior due to a peaceful environment, especially in those 2.5 days. You could be doing the breathing, you could be doing the meditating, but if your environment is not peaceful in those 2.5 days, you're causing some static here when it comes to that oil in order for it to ascend and go back to where it came from. Because when it goes back to the brain, what happens is it charges up in the lower chakras. So when it reaches back into the brain, it wakes up these dormant cells. And these dormant cells are the ones that's actually going to revitalize your entire body. So the message from yesterday and how we're continuing it today, this has to do with on a general basis, like so many of us could be surrounded by people or situations we know no longer serves us. But on those 2.5 days, when that moon is on your sun sign, fuck all that. Okay. Let all of that go and make it a habit, at least just for those 2.5 days. Because if you ask, what do you have to lose? It will be yourself if you don't focus on that. I'm not here to tell you what to do. You're welcome. Giving you the gems that I noticed that when I utilize it, shit over here be changing. We'll get into another message about like all of those changes. I'm just, working with it myself at the same time, because what I'm noticing is that anyone that I may have been surrounded by that causes that lack of peace or harmony in the environment, it's not happening anymore. But you want to also know why that is. And if you have a Mars in Aries, this is something for you to pay attention to. Because with the Mars in Aries, you have the opportunity to bring life or chaos into your environment. Mars is in this most comfortable energy of Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those where, again, you can bring life or you can bring a disaster into the environment just based off of the way you feel. So this is also coming in terms of the beam work. People actually level up or descend. If you're around, they're either going to level up or descend based on where your energy is in alignment to them. And that's just not if you got Mars in Aries. This is just in general, but specifically if you have Mars in Aries, that's you. Okay. So yeah. There's more about that. I want to get back into your reading. There's more about that in video number 7. Okay. And you're naturally athletic. Like you're naturally someone who has to move their body. Okay. So make sure, you getting that movement in. And this is for anywhere you got Aries in your chart, I would say. Let's see here. What's the current situation, y'all? Let's get the energy from the oracle cards first. We have community. Okay. Okay. So that could also be that's a message in itself. Those 2.5 days, be mindful of the readings that you watch, including mine. Okay. Something about video number 7, for sure. Those of you who are in here. They're there. I put them into a playlist. This playlist specifically that we're speaking up on is a generator operated destroyer. Info coming in, generator operated destroyer, and the new moon in Pisces video is in there too. That one was an entire message in itself. And we got Archangel Michael coming out here. All right. The root chakra. See the angles of light. This is where the archangels come into play. That's what they are. They're the angles of light within your chakras that when they're activated, that means the light is on. Yeah. Yeah. Healer of the ages. Ashe. Welcome, beloved. Welcome, y'all. For real. Welcome. We got the thinking woman and happy family. Yes. Yes, soul tribe. Yes, we here. Come on now. Come on now. We got 747, 474. Ooh, 74, 74, 44, 77. Archangel Michael, the root chakra. I'm gonna just pull a message here for the angle of light of the root chakra, 35. That's an 8. I'm seeing the Vesica Pisces here. Something about almonds. As far as like characteristics, people, some of y'all could really be connected with people with almond-shaped eyes. It's for a reason. Let's see. 2 of Cups. Challenge. Came out sideways. Venus in Cancer. But there's a victory once again. 6 of Wands. So once you implement these lessons that you've learned when they came to your core eyes about the way you feel, obviously there were some things that you had to cleanse out from the root. And now you're surrounded by a community of people like us here, right now. Like this energy in itself is helping each and every one of us, including self, to, really figure out what's at the root of it all. You know what I'm saying? So let's see here. Show me more about this energy. Archangel Michael. Yeah. Closing out all of the betrayal. This came up upright. Okay. Let's see here. 10 of Swords. That's the Sun or Mercury and Gemini. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. So this in itself, you've been putting a lot of work in when it came to people of your own blood, literally. Putting in a lot of work when it came to people of your own blood. And those who you consider family when that work wasn't done, and what it is that you have to remove when it comes to, you know, people who you consider family, they may not be blood related. We have Attendant, Maidens, and Companion for 747. Okay, let me look at this a little bit more. I'm looking at 4774. 4. Rest, repose, place to rest. Okay. 7744. Wealth. Okay. That's the gift that's coming to you. You got cornucopia of blessings. That was a challenge as well. But it's only a challenge because of, wow, the masculine, feminine energy within you being out of balance, holding on to something of the past that you consider betrayal. And I'm saying specifically you consider betrayal because it's your feelings. You know what I'm saying? So, and the way you evolve from a memory is by changing your emotion connected to it. Let's see. It was just 4747. We have the King of Cups, Scorpio energy. So if this has to do with the Scorpio, you went through a lot of transformation because they're all about transformation. So that's one thing. Like if you meet a Scorpio, this is a point where you're going through a shift, a massive shift when it comes to the way you express your feelings with others. Walking away from things that no longer serve you. Saturn in Pisces right here. Now let's look at what's really going on. Let's see what the current situation is. There's something here that's being tempered out. Okay. 2:02 on the clock. Let's see. What's the current situation? Okay, rest, repose. Wow. This really speaks of an end to a situation. I don't. Okay. Because that is a card of funerals, though. So there are things that are dying out, either physically or spiritually. Let me get another card for this. Show me the Four of Swords. What is this exactly? I'm going to use the Starman deck for that. Show me this Four of Swords. Show me the Four of Swords. One more shuffle. Show me the Four of Swords. Because that's Jupiter and Libra. So anything that you're unable to integrate when it comes to one-on-one partnerships, once you see the growth that you've had in areas where you're unable to integrate the evolution of yourself, that cycle is done for. Show me the Four of Swords here. Current situation. Show me the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. You see this rose. All right. Is telling me rose that grows from the concrete. So this could also be an awakening of a part of you that has always been dead. Candle just went out. 205. Get another one. 1 second. 5-1-11 on the timer. Because you see this temple in the back here. I feel like that's the part of you where the part of you that's able to visit this space in the ethers is awakening in your physical body. Some of you have been extremely tired. Extremely tired. There goes 74 again, though. So let's look at 74 and 47. Okay, something about that. What's 74? My father is a lamp. Let's look at Abner, enlightener. The meaning of Abner is father of enlightenment, denoting the transmission of light from the principle of the light of God. And we just spoke about that in the way it happens in your body. So it may have something to do with that also. It's like you now knowing, the way that Christ consciousness is fully uploaded and activated within you. Now, everything that has been placed on hold, you can now connect to. And it just made me look at Saturn back here. It's like it's always in the shadows here, assisting you. Show me more. Eight of Swords. Ooh-wee. Speaking of the dead and speaking of these crows, there's that. There is that. The Eight of Swords, Jupiter and Gemini. So some of you are also finding your voice through all of this. Okay. So let's say you take a nap, right? You start to astral travel. Some of you are having conversations with people that just put it that way, that did you dirty. You're having conversations with them and they're like apologizing to you, and you're just sitting there listening to them and they're wanting to catch your attention. They're like, but listen, I have to tell you this. I had something about, that's what I'm saying. It's like somebody saying, I have to tell you this. Don't get off the phone. Don't get off the phone. Hangman, Pisces energy. Yeah, dream state. A lot's happening while you sleep, so don't force yourself to not take a nap when you want to. Yeah, Three of Swords, and then the Ace of Cups is going to help you gain clarity of these